Late one stormy night in a small, secluded town, a young woman named Emily received a package with no return address. It was wrapped in old, tattered paper and tied with a fraying piece of string. Inside, she found a dusty, antique mirror with an ornate, twisted frame. A note lay at the bottom, written in a hurried, shaky hand. "Do not look into the mirror after midnight." Curiosity gnawed at Emily as she hung the mirror on her bedroom wall. Midnight came, and despite the warning, she couldn't resist. She stood before the mirror, staring into her own reflection. Suddenly the room grew cold, and a creeping shadow appeared behind her reflection, but not in the room itself. As Emily watched, paralyzed with fear, the shadow began to take shape. A woman with hollow eyes and a twisted smile emerged in the mirror, mimicking Emily's every move. Her reflection's lips moved, but no sound came out. Emily's heartbeat thundered in her chest as she realized the woman was trying to communicate. The reflection lifted a skeletal hand and pointed behind Emily. She turned slowly, dreading what she might see, but there was nothing. When she looked back at the mirror, her reflection was normal again. Shaking, she backed away, only to hear a faint whisper. "Free me." That night, Emily couldn't sleep. She lay in bed, listening to the storm rage outside, the words, "Free me," echoing in her mind. Just as she was about to drift off, she heard a soft scratching sound. She turned to see the woman from the mirror standing at the foot of her bed, her hollow eyes locked onto Emily's. Terrified, Emily tried to scream, but no sound escaped her lips. The woman moved closer, her form flickering like a dying candle flame. "Help me," she whispered, her voice barely audible over the howling wind. "Break the mirror! Free me!" Gathering all her courage, Emily leaped out of bed and grabbed a heavy book from her nightstand. She ran to the mirror and, with a final desperate swing, shattered it into 1,000 pieces. As the shards fell to the floor, the woman let out a blood-curdling scream and vanished. Emily stood there, trembling, surrounded by broken glass. The storm outside quieted, and an eerie calm settled over the house. She hoped it was over, but as she turned to leave the room, she caught a glimpse of something in the shattered pieces. Her own reflection, twisted into a sinister smile, winked at her before fading into darkness. From that night on, Emily could never escape the feeling that she was being watched, and every mirror she looked into seemed to hold a shadow that didn't belong.